Have a seat. I had 3 sermons prepared for today, and Dion has asked me not to preach all 3 of them. So I let him pick which one. So if you don't like this, it's his fault. Anybody ever been to or looked forward to a concert or a movie or a sporting event of some kind and waited in line? Have you done that? When Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, I was so excited because it's Indiana Jones. And when Han Solo has a whip and a hat, it's just the best thing ever, right? And so I get excited. Nicole and we're getting ready, and I'm like, we got to go like an hour and a half, 2 hours early, Nick. We got to go early because there's going to be a ton of people. So I got all our stuff together. We were there. We walked in, and there was no line. And so I went and asked I thought there was a mistake because there's no way that all these people couldn't be waiting in line to see this glorious movie that actually was really terrible. It's like they knew. But there we were, 2 hours before the movie. We were so full of soda and popcorn before the movie even started, it wasn't even funny. Anybody been to a tailgate before for a sports game? Of any kind? Those are fun. Those are fun. There are people that will go for 4 or 5 days prior to said event and sit there and camp out. Did you know this? I did this once, Lauren Green, and I would like to talk to you about it. You show up and you set up a canopy. Some people have awesome trailers with TVs and like built-in smokers and things of that nature. That I haven't leveled up to that yet, but I'm going to eventually. But you show up and you sit down and you hang out. There are tents and sleeping bags, and like some people actually have beds in their trailers. These people show up 4 or 5 days early and they just talk about what's going to happen. They talk about football. They play cornhole. Then they talk about football some more, or baseball, or whatever's about to happen. They argue stats. They say whose team's going to win. And then if they know they're not going to win, they talk about past championships that their team has won. If you're a Dallas fan, you feel me right now. Can I get an amen? That's what I thought, right? And so the whole time they're there, they're talking about and living into what's about to happen, right? And any of you who have ever looked forward to this or something like it have done the same. What have you looked forward to in your life? Coy, you recently spent 9 months, give or take, 2, looking forward to something. It was something pretty big. You recently had a daughter? Yeah. Who is now almost 3 pounds, and the doctors say is out of the woods. Thanks be to God. Would you say that for that 7 months that you were just not thinking about that at all? Yeah, I didn't think so. Right? Do you think they were reading books at home? Has anybody in here ever had kids? Did you read books or think about what that was going to be like? Please say yes. Okay, thank you. Some of you are like, the third one, not so much. What to expect when you're expecting. There it is. Yeah, so you did your research. You learned you talked to your mate about this, what it was going to be like to have a child, to get excited about it, right? And then 7 to 9 months later, here's this life. And it's the most miraculous thing in the world. But you're sort of prepared. Now, I say sort of because here's the thing. If you buy an 85-inch TV, they give you a manual this thick to operate that thing. You have a baby, they give you a cigar and say, good luck. It's true, right? But you've done this work ahead of time. You're about to have a grandbaby in about a month, right? Yeah, I know that because Alan tells me that every single time that I see him, and you should, right? And you're preparing for it. You're grandparents. You already know what to expect, but you're preparing for it. Does anybody say, oh, I wish has anybody ever said, well, I wish they would just, we could skip all this preparation and just go directly to the kid, right? Now, pregnant women, I hear you. Yes, okay? I hear you. I get it. All metaphors break down, okay? But that's part of the process, isn't it, that pregnancy? Looking back on it, can you honestly tell me there wasn't some love and joy and miracle in that process of being pregnant? There was, right? Even earlier today, someone said to me, I really don't they heard this from the person having a baby. I really don't want to have this baby because it's just he and I right now. It's just us. And I don't want to share him with everybody else. I think that's beautiful. That's something only a mother could understand, right? That preparation, that longing to see that baby, but at the same time, that closeness. You're going to hear a lot about Advent in the coming month. And every year I get the same response to Advent. It looks something like this. Here goes Father Sean telling us not to love Christmas anymore. Here goes Father Sean being my radio police. Can't invite Father Sean over for a month so he doesn't see my Christmas tree that was put up 3 months ago. Can't have Father Dion over because he'll see our Christmas lights. See, it doesn't work when I say him because he has his up too. Where is he? I don't know if that's true or not. You are, yeah. I said, where is he? In the Heretic session over here. Can we just be honest about something? 6.5 years ago, I came and stepped into this place as your rector. And as a new rector, I wanted to do everything right. And so I stepped in and I was like, we are not even saying Alleluia during Advent. We are not going to talk about Christmas. We're not going to decorate. If I catch Christmas music on in any of your cars, excommunication. And I threaten that readily, don't I, Jonathan? Yeah. 6.5 years later, here I am, and I have a word for you. Joy. We live in a world that is constantly asking of us everything and giving it to us hardly anything. We have a lot of hurting people around, people who have lost people dear to them, people who have lost jobs, people who have lost family members, people who are struggling to just find the smallest amounts of joy when their worry takes over, people who are worried about a daughter that just came into the world that isn't home yet, people who are worried about a grandchild just to make sure that they're okay, people in the Middle East who are worried that this might be their last meal, their last breath. The incarnation of Jesus Christ is the most exceptional event in human history. God came down and became person for us, became human. Mary waited that whole time in anticipation for that. But at the same time, she also talked to Joe about building a crib. Mary wondered what that child's life would be like and wanted to celebrate that. But she also set in motion some of the things that needed to happen. My point is this: Advent and Christmas are basically the same thing because they're inextricably tied to each other, aren't they? You don't get Advent without Christmas. You don't get the time of preparation because you wouldn't be preparing for anything. Do you put your tree up before Christmas Day? Be honest. Are your lights on your house before Christmas Day? Do you shop before Christmas Day? Are the gifts wrapped before Christmas Day? No? Everything in me just went full stop. We need to talk about that. What is wrong with you? Stop that. Wrap your Christmas presents, you monsters. So, and are they under the tree for the kids and the grandkids or the spouses to see? Are they? Yeah. Why in the world can't you listen to Christmas music for the next month? Is that what's going to make you pay attention to Advent? Is me telling you not to listen to Christmas music? Why in the world can't you say Merry Christmas to somebody who's working on December 15th at a store you buy something from? Is that going to help you to remember Advent? No. The problem with the church right now is that we have become so Advent heavy that we are taking the joy out of Christmas. You may applaud if you would like to. Now, here's the thing. I'm kidding. Please don't. So here's the adverse of that. Advent is still vital to who we are. Did you prepare for your baptism if you were baptized as a teenager? Yes. Do you think your parents prepared you for your baptism if you were baptized as a baby? That they asked questions? They did. They got ready for it. We need to get ready to honor the moment that Jesus Christ becomes incarnate and is made man. We say it every single Sunday. We don't need to skip that part, but we also don't need to begrudge ourselves a little bit of joy in a world that is not very damn joyful right now. I want you to listen to Christmas music. I want you to decorate your homes. I want you to welcome in people who are hurting and give them some eggnog, maybe with a little bit of bourbon. I don't know. I want you to do all the things. I want you to celebrate and be festive and be joyful. Find joy in this season. But I also want you, when you are in this building or in your nighttime prayers or in those quiet moments where you can reach out and touch the face of God, to appreciate that Advent is a holy season in which we prepare for the incarnate God that comes to this world to save us from ourselves, to show us how to be better versions of ourselves. That's what Advent is. Advent isn't a time where we hate ourselves or disregard another season. Advent is a season of life where we look forward and joy. We talk about whose team's going to win. Is good going to win or is evil? Question is, that battle's already been fought. Death lost. Christ won. Because Christ came down and said, "Here I am. Follow me." Let that be your Advent. And take an adventure into Christmas. And be joyful all the world round. Amen.